We got orphan drop in the sand at the end of Sector 2 as well.
Alright, so I just had message from Buster in the chat, so you should be able to hear us now, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, sorted that out, so forget the first 6 minutes, 40. So
Yep.
I'm Scotty, I'll be your main commentator for this evening. I've got 40 with me, so as you can see with the stream, we have rain. So these first runs from these guys are probably going to be the best laps that will probably be set, unfortunately. So
yeah, very short qualifying session, really.
Yeah, Orphans unfortunately had another spin, and who was that? Aussie Powers disqualified. So really unfortunate for him. He hadn't set a lap time, but he probably would have been starting down the field. But yeah, definitely not great for him.
Yeah, you can see how icy the track looks as well now. Yeah, those slick tyres will just have no grip.
Yep. So yeah, a lot of the cars just going slowly. Deputy, yeah, no ARS usage, so all these guys will be coming in. So yeah, definitely nice, nice quick qualifying, unless it does dry up right at the end, which would surprise me.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way I guess we can tell is if any drivers choose to retire in the pit lane. No one's really done that yet, so it might mean that it could dry up. I'm trying to keep optimistic here. But yeah, maybe if we start seeing them retire, then we might be out of luck.
Yeah, exactly. And looking at the times, you've probably got the first 12, 13 that have put realistic times in, whereas the 14th down to 18th, if it does dry up a little bit at the end, they will be able to get out on some new softs, and they may try and maybe push it a little bit. As I was saying before, if there's any drivers in the chat, just give us a yell in terms of what the weather is like in the race, whether we will have similar conditions as to this, or if it will be completely dry.
Worth noting is that Prezzo and Entei in Ferrari have just chucked on inters. So it might mean they're trying to test wet conditions for maybe the race, say. Or they just want to go out on some inters anyway. Either one.
That's true, and Jetty had a spin at Stowe, unfortunately, just trying to find some time on those softs, but unfortunately won't be able to do much with that. But yeah, it could be that Prezzo and Entei, and then you got the Beast as well, just sort of making sure if it is mixed conditions for the race, they might have adjusted their setup, so they just want to get a little bit of a feel for it.
Yeah, no, exactly right. That's if they didn't already have their setups, locked in before park. They may have changed them, but yeah.
Oh, on board combat now, yeah, he's definitely struggling. He's trying to find some time on the softs, but he just cannot keep it, and that's damage to the front wing, so it'll be straight back in.
Quick insulation lap there from combat.
Yeah, I think generally the time gap between the inters and the softs, probably at Spa, you're looking at 10 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds, but that's on inters. Softs on a wet track, you're looking at about a half a minute loss, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's such a long lap, so it's not like, it's not going to affect you that much because the track's just so long. I think 7.4 kilometers it might be, off the top of my head. So, yeah, that's a long way for tyre delta to occur.
On board with Ventane now, just on his flying lap, just getting the feel of the conditions. Obviously, liking him a little bit more. Definitely had a bit of a tank slapper on the exit of that corner. So definitely just finding the limit, as you can say. Just trying to get the feel of the car. Warming those inters up shouldn't be as hard to warm them up, but just has to be careful.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Obviously much easier to lose the car in the wet, and especially with the traction difference in this year's game compared to previous years. So yeah, I doubt a lot of the drivers have probably done wet practice, as everyone loves to drive as fast as they can in the dry. So this really tests in their skills if the race does turn out to be wet.
just watching combat, just coming to the end. Hopefully he's can keep it clean through this bus stop and get into the pit. You do have it, or just definitely went deep there, just no traction on those softs. But a lot of the guys coming out on inters, so definitely want to get a bit of a run around on them. Until we got Prezzo, we'll follow him on his flyer interlap.
Yeah, it's not often you'll see cars go around in quali setting, what, 10-second a lap slower than what their best time is, but yeah, it's a interesting scenario being given here.
So our top two feel just comfortable enough to sit in the garage at the moment, and then a lot of the top five want to come out to see the conditions. Prezzo sort of keeping it clean, no major mistakes from him at the moment, so we'll see what his time is like at the end of the lap.
A little wiggle there. No, you're exactly right. There's no reason for them to be absolutely sending these cars in instances. It's just get a feel for it now. They've already got their laps down, so yeah, it's making sure you just keep the car in good nick.
Yellows. Oh, I think we've got
one.
My name is Jeff. Lost it at turn 1. At turn 4 at Radion. Yeah, definitely wants to be careful. We've seen carnage in the past at that corner. In this game, in terms of sort of losing it through there and making a mistake, and then other cars not having anywhere to go.
Stills a full front wing somehow, so he didn't hit the wall up there. He's done well to keep it up, but yeah, he's sliding a lot, Jeff, so...
Yeah, definitely some, lot of congestion down at Radion.
Be interesting to see how they're going through Radion, how much they're lifting, what gear they're running through.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, it's not too difficult in the dry, obviously. You're just blindsided, really, but in the wet, you actually have to manage the throttle a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Another yellow. We've lost someone at Puon. Probably just a little bit of a spin through there, just to sort of grab, but just to see how conditions are in the wet. Entei did a 1:56, I believe, so you're looking at about 11 seconds off pace for these inters, so that's probably around race time. So around race time, you're probably looking at just under 2 minutes, depending on weather conditions, if it does go inters or full wets, and with the heavy fuel, as we've lost a beast.
Ooh.
As we said...
Right where we were saying.
Yep, so where we said, my name is Jeff, got lucky. Unfortunately, the Ferrari was not as lucky. So I'm just trying to get the Haas. So where is he? Sorry, and he's lost it on the curb and then just spun completely left into the wall.
Yeah, it's a usually see the crashes obviously on the other side of the track, so it's a bit odd to see him on the inside there.
Deputy on a quicker lap on the inters. Coming around the final corner now, up to the line. About a 58 flat, so not too bad. So if you've got the likes of Entei and Deputy sort of in the 48s, 58s, you're sort of aiming around there if it is necessary race pace. So Entei, and as you can see at the top, Giles, Grimmy, able to get their laps in. But if you want, let's talk about a couple of these drivers. We've got Goodwill and Clarence in the Mercedes. So Goodwill just on a invalid lap at the moment. Entei, who was, I believe, a champion a couple of seasons ago from memory, so he's definitely got some pace, and De Beast as well, so I feel the Ferraris could be a very competitive team. And we know sort of how Grimmy and Giles, they were very competitive in the Open Series last season as well, so...
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. No, I
And
think we got a good lineup here on our hands for sure.
yeah, exactly. And we obviously can't forget. Just happy to be here, Mr. Banana Cake Pie as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Always in contention as well. He did win this race in the Open Tier 1 last season, which was good. Late
See if
safety
he can
car
go.
helped him there.
Yeah, see if he can go back to back. Yeah, probably be a bigger ask on this year's grid. With some of the names we were just mentioning before. But yeah, it's good competition here for all these guys.
Right, so Grimmy just coming around the last corner now. And he's done a 156.8, so he's definitely a little bit more comfortable in these wet conditions.
Yeah, you'll notice with these guys as well that they're going around on multiple laps on these inters as well, just to weigh them in, get a really good feel for them. As opposed to just sending it on one quality lap like we see on the dry tyres. So it's good for the drivers to get their eye on a little bit. And as we were saying, that Prezzo's retired. I think that's in the pit lane.
Yes, that would be the case. Yeah, I think he's just getting wheeled in. So here we
Only
go.
50 seconds left in qualifying now anyway, so the drivers will be on their final lap or starting their final lap.
Goodwill invalidate on a invalidated lap. So yeah, and with the racing, if we do have a little bit of weather, obviously a little bit harder to make passes without the DRS about around the long back straight of Kemmel Straight. So you sort of have to be a little bit more opportunistic on your moves and sort of make sure you have the moves set up even like 3-4 corners beforehand and just try and get the
For sure.
traction out of the corners.
Yeah, no, exactly right. A big thing is trying to force that leading driver to make a mistake as well. The moment they're offline or something like that, it's hard for them to regain composure. And kind of defend their position.
Met's just about to start another hot lap, so we'll stay on board with him. No, we won't, because it
Yeah,
is
he's
checkered
done,
flag.
yeah.
Yeah.
Grimmy's coming across the line now to finish off, followed by his teammate Deputy. So Grimmy with a 58, a little bit slower on that lap. Both McLarens lapping pretty similar, 58 from Deputy as well.
Giles in the pit. Banana on his lap now, just coming through the second sector. As he comes around Stowe now, we'll see the second sector delta time. About 10 seconds or so, we might see him in this lap. Oh, and he's definitely had a moment through there.
Oh, he's done well to hold that.
And it'll be interesting to see whether these drivers were able to hang around Blanchimont full throttle if they did have to lift. We saw Banana have to do a very quick lift through there as he comes to the bus stop. Now he's going to finish this lap. Round the corner. And he does a 158.9. So not a bad lap. I think the last one will
Pretty
wait.
similar lap times there from some of those guys in the 58s on inters, so yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think it was Grimmy on a 56. So yeah, he definitely feels a little bit more comfortable in the wet. And you feel he'd be one of the favourites for the championship. I know he finished, I believe, second to I think Will last season. So yeah, he definitely wants it. With Will not in this season, he definitely want to go one better and try and win it.
No, exactly right. Yeah. That's it. Every driver's in it to win it. No one wants to come second place for the season, so.
Yeah, exactly. So there is your results screen. Giles takes pole position by 6/10. He was able to nail his lap early just before the rain hit and gets it on pole. Grimmy P2, Prezzo, Banana, Entei, The Beast, Mercedes fan, Stobby, Jeff, Junkyard Dog, Metz, Snickers Bud, Bompton, Goodwill, Deputy, Steel Dog, Clarence, Jetty, Orphan Drop, Power Rail Combat, and Aussie Powers. That rounds your top 20. So definitely, I reckon a bit of a mixed up grid, but that should make it a very enjoyable race to watch.
I think we'll also be seeing a lot of different strategies because of that grid. Um, yeah, I think the ideal strategy is medium to hard around here. But if there's some drivers who believe they have more pace than the rest of the field, at the back they might have softs or hards to go a little bit longer. We'll see.
Alright, so by looking at that weather, we definitely have a dry start. But as you know, with this weather around Spa, it sort of has its own climate that the rain could sort of come very quickly. So we'll see what these drivers start on. If they go on a hard tyre, they might wait for the rain, if there is any. Or we'll see drivers start on the meds and definitely get a better start. Hards can definitely be a little bit tricky to warm up in this new game.
Yeah, and especially with the wear on the formation lap, you do actually create quite a lot of wear on the tyre, just yeah, trying to warm it up.
Yeah, so it is dry completely, so it'll more than likely be a one-stop med hard or hard med from usually from a bit of testing that I've done. People might stretch it to the softs, and as you very well know, safety cars can easily play a part around here.
Yeah, exactly right. So yeah, tyre strategies are looking pretty similar across the whole field. The only difference being the two Ferraris on hard. So Ferraris haven't decided to split their strategy. They've decided to split their strategy from the rest of the field, which will be interesting to see how they end up here. If they can hold on to the top four in front of them, I feel like they're in with a pretty good shot. But they just got to make sure that they don't let that they don't drop away from them.
Yeah, so they're definitely wanting to go long, so an early safety car will not help them, but they're hoping that maybe late safety car or the fresher tyres at the end, they can sort of fly back through this field. So, but definitely interesting tyre choice. I figured there might have been a little bit more variation, especially with the guys at the back, maybe wanting to go long. Maybe they're all just thinking safety cars sort of want to just play it that way and sort of just go with the rest of the field.
Yeah, that's it. Generally, if you stick with the DRS train, you're in a pretty good spot. If anyone makes a mistake, you can snatch up a couple of positions pretty quickly. But yeah, once you lose DRS around this track, it's really difficult to get back in it, especially if the cars in front are in a DRS train.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got with the DRS on the front straight and then all the way down the Kemmel straight, you can easily make up a lot of time just sitting behind, save your DRS, save your tyres, and then look to have a move later on in the race, just save everything, maybe extend on your mediums, have fresher hards at the end. The good news is we haven't had any disqualifications yet, which is always good to see.
No, and it's going to be a lot of these drivers tested it for the first time, driving onto their grid spots now as well. So, be interesting to see if either Jays or Grimmy's point their car in either direction to try and block off the other driver. We'll see what happens.
We'll go on board with Giles and just see how he parks
He's
it up.
gone straight on by the look of it.
Yeah,
Same with Grimmy.
Oh, the Beast unfortunately disqualified, so he might have just gone a little bit deep.
One of the Mercedes facing the wrong way at the moment.
Just the last cars just line up on the grid. There we go, we've got 3, 4, 5 lights. And we're underway at Spa. Really nice start from the Red Bull and the Williams behind. Change the camera angle. Aston keeps in front. Giles, bit of contact with the Red Bull. Car's gone. And there's a Ferrari into the wall. Not sure who that is. Ente, unfortunately, just on those hards. So Giles, Prezzo, Banana, he's moved up a couple of spots. So as we follow them down the Kemmel Straight, will Prezzo think about a move? No, he'll sit behind, as we've got two wide coming in with the Ferrari and the McLaren. Grimmy trying to hold up the inside. DeBeast there, but Grimmy's still on the inside. He backs out of it.
It's crucial for Grimmy to try and get past DeBeast very quickly. Being on that.
We've got Red Bull around. That is often drop. My name is Jeff. A little bit of contact there. No damage from what I can see on the Aston Martin. And the Haas. Bit of contact around pool one. Yeah, she just went too deep on there, and that leaves Jeff vulnerable to his teammate Metz, but manages to hold it. And we have a Mercedes around. That's Clarence around, unfortunately. So hopefully can get back on. Hopefully has no damage. As we go back up to the front, Giles has got about an 0.8 of a second lead, so he's managed to gap Prezzo a little bit. Banana in third, as we have another yellow. That's Aussie Powers, unfortunately spinning. Hopefully it doesn't have any damage. So top three sort of checking out. Here is Grim. Bit of contact there with the Ferrari. Grim really needs to get past DeBeast. Everybody behind DeBeast will just lose time. And the first lap would have been good just to get ahead, but while those hards heat up, as we have.
Yeah, exactly right. And especially get within DRS of the guys ahead. Still a lot of cars swapping for position towards the back here. They're not settled in by any means as of yet. Looking at Snickers Bud climbing up Radion. He's got Jeff all over the back of him currently.
Yeah, side by side.
Side by side, yeah. He's going to make it a double move on the Haas as well.
Didn't quite do there. Bit of contact with Jeff and Snickers Bud, which will leave him vulnerable to Entei, trying to recover from the incident at the start. He has not got a end plate on his front right on my screen.
Yeah, no, he's missing that front right end plate, so that's going to give him a bit of downforce issues, but thankfully the ground effects this year obviously helps out a lot. You don't need your front wing as much, but it's still definitely going to help you a couple tenths a lap. Yeah,
starting on that hard sort of is costing him now because he can't go onto it, so he can't probably stop for mediums for at least another, probably until lap 9, 10 at the very earliest to sort of make it home, but his tyres won't be in the best condition at the end. But he's definitely struggling out of the faster corners, and Metz definitely thinking about a move, possibly when DRS gets enabled this lap.
Yeah, Jays is checking out as well. Same fast lap, but yeah, quite some margin there as well.
Yep.
About half a second quicker than Prezzo.
Yeah, as Jeff makes a move on Junkyard Dog into 10th spot. We've got Mercedes fan all right up against Grimmy, so Mercedes fan will definitely look for a move. He's pretty much riding him right up the hill, right behind him, so activate DRS. Grimmy will have DRS from the Ferrari in front, but yeah, just too much pace from a Mercedes fan. Will Grim try and fight this? No, he'll stick behind. So Mercedes up to 5th. He'll try and now be the one to try and get past DeBeast and close the gap to the top 3.
Yeah, this really isn't what Grimmy needs. As we have a spin at Lake Hume, Junkyard Dogs retired from the session. He's on the left side in the wall there, and I think we have a safety car because of that.
We do, safety car. So will any of these guys on the mediums sort of just decide to pit and just see if they can go to the end on the hards?
Well, it's really hurt these top 3 because they're already 5 seconds ahead of the beast behind, but it's really saved the races of the guys, who did fall off the back of the top 3 there.
Another person this has also saved is Entei. He will be able to stop and fix that front wing. He may have to go on to mediums, but he'll be able to sort of be on the same strategy of these guys, go on to mediums now, and then do a medium and then jump back onto the hards, or go to the softs. So,
exactly right.
Especially if a lot of these medium runners stay out. So he's back into play in this race.
Yeah, we'll see what the top three do now as they come into the bus stop. So we got all
Giles,
of them staying out. They're going to stick to their original strategy. Um,
Mercedes-Benz comes in.
yeah, first one to come in.
Oh,
Bompton's in as well. And yeah, and Tazy the same.
Deputy as well. So
So
yeah,
there's pretty
a lot,
much all the guys at the back. Yep.
yeah, a lot of these guys at the back, they've really got nothing to lose, and if there is a safety car at the end or towards the end, they can go softs, or their mediums won't be too badly worn, so they can jump back on them.
That's exactly right.
Jedley
Yeah.
held up a little bit with the double stack, but didn't cost him hopefully too
Ooh,
much. He
he has still coming up behind.
squeezed in
Gently,
between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. So
yeah, and this situation is going to probably create a bit of a interesting one for the guys at the front because it's going to be difficult for those guys to pull a gap worth a pit stop before they actually have to pit on the HUDs as well, meaning that Mercedes fan, Bobton, Deputy Dog, all probably going to come out in front of them after that pit stop. So yeah, Jay's and stuff going to have to work through those guys who've already pitted.
yeah, exactly. And with everyone really starting on the mediums besides the Ferraris, all of them were going to come in at the same time, so they were going to come out in clear air, probably besides the Beast and Entei. So this is sort of, it's definitely hurt them, and if there's battles in the midfield, they could probably come out right in the middle of them, so they will have to be careful.
Yeah, and I mean, as you said, they have nothing to lose by doing this strategy. So they're already in a, not the best position already. So yeah, there's, as you said, nothing to lose for them.
As we do have Goodwill just catching the back of this train now, so hopefully we can get back to green flag racing this lap. Hopefully we won't have to go another one. Still yellow. Hopefully it will get us sort of a late call, otherwise we will be going around again, unfortunately. Lights are still on, so yep. But to be sort of closing that gap, but again, he'll be on those hard tyres at the restart, so a little bit of warm-up that'll have to do. So Grimmy, Stobby, Orphan Drop, definitely those three guys will be looking to get past him quite quickly. And there's a move for some reason down the back. I think they've sorted themselves out now.
Yeah, so safety car has to do at least one full lap. It might mean that we'll be following it to the end of this, so I think it might go in or one more.
Yeah. So Giles definitely had the pace. He had the fastest lap, 47.7 to this current point. Only the top three really in the 48s. A lot of 49s in that midfield. So, and then if we look at position change, Giles stayed where he was. Prezzo, Banana, DeBeast moved up 1 and 2 positions. Grimmy, biggest loser, lost 3 at the front. Orphan Drop definitely made a lot of ground up 11 positions. Same as Combat, so they started at the back, sort of escaped a bit of the carnage and able to move up. And then the biggest loser, Entei, obviously having to pit with that front wing damage, but that safety car has brought him back into play. He'll just have to work through the field a little bit to get back the ground that he lost.
Yeah, this safety car as well. For DeBeast, it means he might actually be able to pull these hards to a soft stint if he really wants to spice things up for himself. But it's just pulling in the tyres of the guys who started, on their set, haven't pitted yet.
Yeah, exactly. If you can sort of hold on with the top 3 and sort of hang with the DRS, that will definitely help him get a bit of a buffer towards the guys that are in that midfield. And if you can save his tyres and extend to probably, I'd say lap 16, as we do have the safety car coming in this lap. But if you can get to lap 16 on the hards, that's 6 laps on softs. which softs are very high deg around here, but he'd definitely be very quick.
Yeah, exactly. It's a oh, here we go. Safety car somebody, but it's a very risky strategy. But yeah, as you said, they're pretty quick.
So what does Giles do here? Does he go early before the bus stop, or will he try and get a good exit out of the bus stop and then try and sort of want to try and catch Prezzo napping, but Prezzo's right on his tail and he's gone early. He's gone before. So he wants to try.
Yeah, before the bus stop.
So gets a nice exit out of there and they're underway. Bit of a gap in the midfield. Stobby lost a bit of ground to Grimmy as we have yellow flag at the back. All sorted now. So Giles definitely got the better getaway. Banana right behind Prezzo. So will he burn up the hill and try and get past?
Both drivers have their overtake enabled.
Yeah, Prezzo definitely looking to defend. Banana just weaving a little bit, maybe get a bit of temperature, having a quick look, but definitely not on there as we got Orphan Drop getting past Stobby, so that's one move already off the restart, so he'll definitely be looking.
Very nice move off the back of the camel there. Yeah, just straight down the inside, got the job done before the left-hander. Yellow flags again.
That's Aussie powers, so he got a 3-second time penalty and then yeah, must have run wide and just lost it. Got some front wing damage, so he'll have to come in and box again, unfortunately.
Yeah, he'll be hoping for another safety car for sure. But yeah, if another safety car comes in, I wouldn't rule him out by any means.
As we have Prezzo sort of been able to just manage the gap the second half of the lap. Hasn't let Giles get away yet. Sort of wanting to hope, and DeBeast hung in there as well. Hasn't dropped too much ground.
Grimmy's really got to get past the Ferrari before their tyres start getting into that kind of working period around lap 10. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very difficult for Grimmy to get past as he brakes very late, nearly runs at the back of the Ferrari.
Yeah, definitely compromised his exit there. He has got a little bit of a gap, but Orphan Drop just got past Dobby, so he'll definitely be looking to catch this train before DRS gets activated next lap. We got Metz right behind Combat, so he'll be looking for a bit of a move, possibly at the end of Kemmel. The guys that have started on the who went on into the pits on the hard tyres, they're still sort of at the back, not really dropping off, but yeah, these guys at the front definitely want to sort of get ahead of them if possible.
Yeah, probably struggling a lot with tyre warm up on those hards. I can imagine on that safety car restart they just would have dropped a lot of temperature while waiting for the field to go, and yeah, they're probably only just coming back up around now-ish.
Yeah, which sort of makes it more impressive of DeBeast's ability to sort of keep where he was.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And he's definitely holding off Grimmy as well. Grimmy's sitting a comfortable half second behind. So yeah, it is showing his pace.
So Orphan Drop unfortunately picks up his first 3-second time penalty. We may see a lot of these penalties just start to come through at the second half of the race, so definitely don't want to be picking up early penalties because that can hurt you if we do have a late safety car.
Yeah, and especially when other drivers can see it, yeah, they know that you're not as much of a threat as what you could be. So yeah, it kind of puts a bit of, yeah, makes other drivers around you a bit more comfortable as well when they see you have a penalty.
As we've got Jeff and Stobby battling, and Jeff makes the move stick, so he's up to 7th. Bit of a gap to Orphan Drop behind, so he will be susceptible to DRS. As we'll go back.
Speaking of which, I think Banana might try to set up Prezzo here. He's been looking quicker than Prezzo since his safety car restart went down. It does look a bit too far back actually, but yeah, if these two can work together, they can definitely catch Jays up there, but Jays is pretty comfortable right now with a 1.6 second gap.
Yeah, exactly, and a couple more drivers picking up 3-second pens. De Beast managing to hold off as we have a yellow flag, and I believe that is a Haas Metz, unfortunately spun. Just getting out of people's way. Has he got front wing damage? No. So just a spin from him, maybe a little bit of contact. Giles doing a good job. Still a second and a half. Banana sort of dropping back through that middle sector.
Off. Yeah, I might have cursed him a little bit there with that comment, but he was, yeah, definitely sitting pretty comfortably behind Prezzo. So yeah.
Grimmy definitely right on the back of the beast. So definitely locking his medium tyres more. The beast managing to as we got orphan drops spun, unfortunately. So don't look like front wing damage or a bit dangerous. Luckily enough, ghosting is on, but he'll lose a lot of time through there as we quickly go back up to this battle. P4, Grimmy just sitting behind him again. He's probably hoping for a better exit out of here than pretty last time.
Push him along, yeah.
Yeah, and sort of hopefully he's trying to line it up for just get a good exit out of Radion, line it up and try and get past him there.
They're both very similar in battery, so that's not really going to come into it. It's just, yeah, how much the DRS can help. He hasn't had the best run out of low source, and I think De Beast is running quite low wings actually as well. You'll notice that Grimmy doesn't catch too much on the DRS straight, even with the DRS. It's only, yeah, about 3/10.
Yeah.
Oh, yellow flags. Jay's just spun.
Race leader off the road. We'll see if he's got damage, but that... as we got the other Aston.
His teammate goes right behind him. Wow. Synchronised fit into it.
So definitely not the best couple of corners for both Aston Martins. But what this does is we now have a really nice battle for the lead with Prezzo and Banana Cake Pie. And Banana's got 3 seconds. So Prezzo can sort of sit a little bit more comfortably here, knowing that he can sort of just... He doesn't have to fight Banana too hard. But he definitely will. He definitely want to keep Banana. Yeah, definitely want to keep Banana behind just before the pit stops, as we've got Aussie Powers retiring in the pits, unfortunately. So back to this battle for now. Third, Grim again, 2.5 tenths right behind. Grim's definitely a lot closer coming out of here.
Does he go for it at the bus stop?
Oh, De Beast running a little bit wide, but as you were saying, I think De Beast running that slightly lower down force, maybe just helping him a little bit. As we
Jays is in as well. So I wonder if it's front wing change or it's just a tyre change. There might be some damage that we can't see there.
Possibly.
I'll follow him into the pits and I'll let you know.
I'll head back to this top battle. Banana only 3.5 tenths. Got a much better exit out that time. Through Rouge Radion, activate DRS. Prezzo definitely burning ERS, but will he go on the move on the inside? No, he decides just to hold off. Doesn't have to do anything too risky at the moment. They've got a good gap to third and fourth. To be still
as Banana spun! He just got a little bit too much wheel spin heading into the right hand of, yeah, the chicane there. And the car just snapped a little bit on him. So these mediums must be wearing quite a lot then. That's 2 mistakes in 2 laps we've seen from leading drivers now. And I think you might see Banana in the pits at the end of this lap too.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't look like to have front wing damage. Unfortunately, I just turned off to the battle for P3, so I missed his spin, unfortunately. But what this does is Prezzo's now got a very nice and healthy 4-second lead against this battle for third. And still very close to be still doing a really good job holding Grimmy off.
Banana's struggling a lot here if you drop down to P7.
Yeah, he's sort of trying to make sure that he definitely doesn't want to spin again. No,
exactly right. Oh, as we were saying, Bompton's gone now as well. That might have been rear wing damage from him as well. He went into the wall pretty heavy at the back.
Yeah.
We'll see. What are the top guys doing now? I assume most are coming into the pits. They're struggling. Stobby stays out. Banana's in, yeah. So we'll see where Jays comes out. compared to some of these guys. Keep in mind, Jays has been on some cold hards this lap, so probably would have lost a bit more time too.
So Prezzo comes out of the pits.
Just in front. It's going to be interesting with his cold tyres and Deputy and Metz both on some warm tyres.
Up there, sort of gap sort of staying the same, closing it a little bit, but Prezzo just needing to take it a little bit careful through this first half lap to sort of just make sure his tyres are nice and warm as we go back up to the front two, as it has been. Let's not forget Mercedes fan in P5. He has already made his mandatory pit stop. So Prezzo about half second, as we do have another spinner. That looks like Aston Martin, which is
again.
He's having a shocker after his spin.
Yeah, he was looking in a really controlling spot. But yeah, once you lose your cool a little bit, you try to push too hard, try to work the car too hard, and those tyres probably still aren't up to their ideal temperature range. So yeah, he's just going to try to get his head down and get a couple points here today.
Yeah, Met's looking at Deputy Dildog, definitely looks at the pass, going side by side in the stow, makes the pass stick. So Met's still liking his 10 lap old mediums. We'll see him in the next couple of laps, but he has no ARS to use, and will Deputy come back and fight him back? It will. It's under just about a tenth, or has to back off a little bit.
Ooh. I've been brave around Blanchemont.
Oh, and Deputy thought about it, but decided to back off. As we've got Grimmy and Stobby into the pits, so they'll change to fresh hards. So Prezzo already passed, so he definitely made ground on his outlap, which was good. So he'll have a bit of a bigger gap, as we've got Mercedes fan closing in on Combat, and this is going to look like a very easy move for the AlphaTauri driver. Yep. Set him up, on the exit of turn 1 there, so that was pretty much the whole run down the hill. He was ready to make that move. Ante just sticking behind. Combat thought about maybe sticking it back up the inside there, but just happy to sit behind him. He'll probably be in the next couple of laps to get off those mediums onto those hards. So definitely the crossover point for the hards and mediums now. Mercedes fan got some good pace there, and he's only 7 seconds behind the Beast as well. So hasn't lost too much time in all that traffic at the back.
No, he hasn't, and keeping in mind what you said, how he has made that mandatory pit stop. Oh, Radeon crash.
And I think that is Jeff again.
No front wing.
Luckily enough, it didn't cause a safety car by DNFing.
So Aston's having a really unfortunate race so far.
And we've got a Red Bull spun at the back, which is orphan drop, unfortunately. He did hit the wall when he spun quite hard, so he may have some rear wing damage and some floor damage. So,
He's missing his front right end plate. Oh, and another crash. Clarence this time.
Yeah, so just...
A lot of these drivers struggling with either old tyres or their tyre warm-up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely an interesting factor on the game.
Yeah, and the Beast is in, so he's going to go 10 laps on those mediums, which is definitely possible, easily to do. So where will he come out? He'll come out just behind this battle with Metz and Deputy Dildog. Metz still sitting behind there, as we've got Banana just overtaking a few cars coming out of the pits. So he'll be able to gap them fairly comfortably. Metz still sitting behind Deputy, not close enough to think about having to move, so Metz will be possibly pushing for the soft tyres at the end.
Yeah, as we see Stobby get past his teammate, there might have been some team orders there between the Williams boys, but one thing I did want to come back to actually was your mention of Mercedes fan. Well, both the AlphaTauris actually having made their compulsory pit stops. First and third right now, they can theoretically make it to the end. The tyres won't be looking great, but if they can do so, they're probably on for a double podium if they can.
Yeah, exactly, which would be a very nice result. However, if you have a look at P4,
Yeah,
Prezzo,
Prezzo's close, and then you got another 6 seconds back to Deputy.
which Deputy's
Um,
also on the same strategy as Mercedes fan. So, yeah, definitely both AlphaTauris looking like they've got the pace in this race, but can they hold off Prezzo? Can they work together and sort of hold off, sort of drag each other along and just not let Prezzo have the opportunity? As we cross the line to start lap
oh,
14, as Metzen,
sorry, Metz. Yeah, he just broke way too late at the bus stop there, and he's had to cut the corner to take avoidant action. He's got a penalty for it, which is a bit unfortunate. He lost 2 places by doing that, and the game slapped him on the wrist with the penalty as well, so he might be able to get that one removed. But he's probably due for a pit stop soon anyway.
as Entei picks up a 3-second time penalty for cutting the Radeon corner, which is fairly easy to do to try and carry the speed up the hill. So he took a little bit too much, and Gamescom giving him a penalty. So as we've got the Beast getting past Deputy very easily, as we got Metz losing it to Bompton. So just sort of, I think this strategy of coming onto the sauce may not have sort of worked out, as we've got Grimmy and Deputy Dildog. I'm assuming that's probably team orders as well, just letting the quicker guy through on the fresh hards. Oh, as we have, oh, that is Goodwill, unfortunately. So both Mercedes and Aston Martin just not having the races that they want first off.
No, especially when yeah, it's a shame because Jays was looking in such a controlling position. But yeah, just a couple of mistakes. And yeah, he kind of lost his composure a little bit and made another one. So he's still not out of bad point scoring range. He's just, yeah, as I said, got to put his head down a little bit.
Yeah, so just following this current train for 7th at the moment. Bompton sort of hustling Deputy a little bit here. Again, same tyre strategy as the Beast sets fast lap on a 1:47.3, so he's definitely liking his set of mediums.
He is. It's a long way to get to Prezzo, plus his penalty, but we'll see how much he can close that gap. Prezzo as well is closing the gap a lot to the guys in front of him, so we'll see how he gets through this, I guess, yeah, you could say traffic.
Yeah, and Entei sort of dropped gently a little bit, and Prezzo's definitely caught up back, so won't be too long before he's within DRS and having a look, as we've got the two McLarens holding off the Alfa Romeo still, so they're still doing not too bad. Grimmy's sort of helping Deputy at the moment with DRS, so just trying to hold that as Open Drop sets the fastest lap on the set of softs to the end. It's Bompton right up the back of Deputy, wants to have a look at Deputy, try and get this move done, as Goodwill picks up another 3-second time penalty. So currently this battle for P7 closest on track, so will Bompton have a look at the bus stop chicane if he can get a nice exit through here. Looks fairly clean enough.
As you were saying, how Grimmy's been helping Deputies, absolutely dropped him this lap, and left him to fend for himself a little bit. To see Entei in the pits now. Here we go, Bompton.
Side by side, taking the racing line. Deputy gone a little bit deep.
Yeah.
He'll have DRS, but got a little bit more ARS than Deputy, or will he just, yeah, sort of just stick behind him? Doesn't want to do anything too risky. Yeah, exactly, and set himself up this Kemmel straight. As Entei coming out right in this traffic with Banana, very close. He's managed to hold it,
DRS here.
but he's going to have to be super careful coming up the hill, as Banana right on the back of him.
Bumped him first if you want. He's going to go for a move down the Kemmel straight. Swerving around the track here, side by side.
Gets a
Gets
nice
it done around
shot.
the outside. Great
Very
move.
nice done. And Banana gets Entei. Entei will definitely come back at him with those new softs. Just a little bit of warm up. Yeah, as you can see, the traction that Entei got out of that corner.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Definitely a lot better.
Those tyres probably already warmed up, I'd say. Yeah, he's just got to try and get past him and, you know, make as much ground as he can while they're in working range. Because, yeah, as you said, lap 6, they're really starting to struggle.
Yeah, exactly. Banana may not decide to fight this one too hard because both of them do have penalties. But I think if he holds up Entei a bit too much, fights this too much, he's just going to lose too much time to the guys ahead and bring Stobby and Combat right back into this. But I think he may not have a choice. Entei got a very nice run.
Sorry to cut you off there. Prezzo and Jedley are going at it up at P2 as well, side by side through the bus stop. And Jedley's backed out to try and get DRS here on Prezzo. So Prezzo definitely has the pace on these guys, but if these AlphaTauri boys can work together here, as Jedley got a massive snap then,
Yeah,
yeah,
this will
they
cost
might be able
him.
to hold their ground.
As we have Red Bull off in the second sector, that will be orphan drop again. He's too far back as we go back to this tight battle in the midfield. We've got Stobby and Combat looking up Erosion Radion. Bompton unfortunately picks up the 3-second time penalty as we got Entei side by side with Banana.
Oh, he
Banana
just can't quite get him.
both have DRS, both using ERS. Oh, bit of a dive bomb,
Late
but we'll
on
have
the
the grip.
brakes.
Banana right there, and
Oh,
I'm wondering if that's probably a bit tough. We'll have to let the stewards
I
decide
think
that
that's
one.
going to go straight to the stewards, yeah. I won't mention any more on that, I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we'll let stewards decide that one.
Yeah, was there enough racing room left behind? But we'll come back to that later. As we got Orphan Drop retiring in the pits, unfortunately. Few spins, just not his day today. As we have back with Entei, right on the back of Deputy, so we're definitely looking for a move. Yeah, super quick through this section. As you're looking around the outside, very nice move outside around the end, around the outside of Stowe there. So cleared Deputy fairly quickly there. So his next target will be Bompton. So he's definitely liking those soft tyres, and these hard tyres, 13 laps, will definitely be starting to struggle now. As we look up the battle for the top 3, still very, very close.
All within DRS too.
Exactly. Prezzo won't have the bite in his hard tyres now. However, both AlphaTauris will definitely be struggling. Those tyres will definitely be not looking the best.
Yeah, I think by around lap 15 on those hards, you're starting to get around to the high 60s, even mid 60s.
Prezzo still got a fair bit of time to sort of wait out, as we got Bompton losing the position to Entei. So Entei made that move, I'm assuming, around turn 1 or the bus stop. So Bompton couldn't get the move back on him, so
I think, yeah, these AlphaTauri boys, they can try battle as hard as they can for this P1 position, but if Prezzo pulls that 1 second gap, they really just have to try and hold on to that double podium. They're in a great point scoring position right now, and it's going to be a really good way for them to start the season.
yeah, exactly. And when if the beast does get to them, they're not going to have the best life, those mediums. So yeah, definitely a 2-3 for AlphaTauri on here. But let's not count out Mercedes fan. He might be able to keep Prezzo behind, but Prezzo definitely a better exit through there. Around Blanchimont.
He's going to try and go for it, I think.
Yeah, I think he will. A lot more traction through that last corner. He'll go around the outside. Very nice move.
Lovely move.
Will Mercedes fan be able to come back on him? Prezzo does get DRS still, so that will help him. So Mercedes fan has to line this corner up to try and get the run down the Camel Straight. But will his tyres allow him to get up over Rouge Radion nice and cleanly?
Prezzo has a lot more DRS as well. Battery as well. 20% more than what Mercedes fan does. Oh, he gets a bad run through Radion though.
I think
Mercedes
that,
fans definitely close enough.
yeah, exactly. Prezzo covers the inside, and
Can't
Prezzo's going to
defend it.
stick behind. Yep, so very nice
Good
back and
racing.
forth. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Prezzo definitely more confident through the middle sector as he go around the inside. Yes, he does the dive bomb. Will Mercedes fan come back? Side by side, Prezzo holds the spot. So now Prezzo will try and extend it through the second half of this lap to try
Yeah,
and,
it's a
if not
big
try and
push
get out
sector
of,
now.
yeah, exactly. If not to get out of DRS, to try and make the gap 7, 8, 10. So it makes it hard for Mercedes fan.
Yeah, these top three, yeah, all within the DRS. Right now you'd have your money on Prezzo, but it's still anyone's game. Any mistake from Prezzo and those two AlphaTauri boys are right there. They haven't made a mistake all race. Yeah, been driving really well.
So Jedley now right on the back of Mercedes fans. So will we see maybe a little bit of team orders here? Maybe just swap. Maybe Jedley's a little bit faster in these later stages. Sort of don't want to let Prezzo get away if they can. And Prezzo just hovering around that 1 second mark. Mercedes will have DRS on the front straight. Will Prezzo be able to get a better exit through here? Or be very close? He just fell out of it, but Prezzo you'd feel like would be fairly safe coming onto this straight, being that he's nearly a second ahead.
Yeah, that DRS won't do much for Mercedes fan, unfortunately. He might be able to pull the gap, yeah, about 3/10, 2/10, but it's he's gonna have a big middle and third sector here if he wants to try and hold this DRS.
Of course, what he can do is just try and put a little bit of pressure on Prezzo, because you never know, if Prezzo picks up a 3 second time penalty, this falls right back to both AlphaTauris. So Prezzo's just going to have to be a little bit careful and just keep the exits, his entry and exits very clean, not trying to overdrive the car. And if he can do that, he'll be very confident for this win with only 2.5 laps to go.
Yeah, Prezzo's got one warning, Mercedes fan has one, and Jedley's got two at the moment, so that's the top three warning situation. So I think it's going to be a little battle here between the two AlphaTauri boys for the second step of the podium. So yeah, hopefully they don't take each other's race out, and we get some good racing between these two, because they've done a phenomenal job today. It's just a matter of finishing it. Yeah, 2 laps to go now pretty much.
Yeah, and these two guys were the ones that pitted under that very early safety car, and it has worked out. De Beast, Grimmy, and Tay, they haven't been able to close that gap.
Yeah, great strategy call from the
as Jedley nearly goes up the back of Mercedes fan. Just wanted to
everyone else in the field kind of split up a little bit now as well. We got Stobbies in DRS and Jays, but other than that, everyone's kind of yeah, settled in a little bit.
As Jedley uses DRS, will he make a move on his teammate? And Mercedes fan doesn't really fight it, which is smart by the both of them.
Yeah,
bit of a slide from Mercedes fan. So yeah, his tyres are definitely going, but they've only got 2 laps to go, and De Beast is 8 seconds plus a penalty, so they've got time to just settle down, bring home a 2-3.
Yeah, it's they're both pretty much flashing on their battery. Both have used it all up.
Yeah, as we look at Giles looking around the outside, thinking about a move, right on the back of Bompton. Definitely had pace, but just those 2 spins in the middle part of in the middle stage of this race, just has sort of cost him a podium and the win, and he runs a little bit wide through there.
Yeah, it's hurt him a lot. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah, as Mercedes fan has sort of dropped about 2 seconds off Jedley now, so I think he's just decided to bring it home as Jeff sets the fastest lap of 44.7, so he'll look to try and get at least 1 point top 15 score points plus an extra point for anybody that sets the fastest lap. As Giles has to lift a little bit, but he's definitely going to look for a move around the outside, and
It will get
Combat's
DRS as
right
well.
behind there.
Oh, bit of
Oh, bit of
contact.
contact, so this will open up.
Yeah.
But
Going on to the final lap now. This is anyone's battle for P6 here. Sorry, P7.
as you got, Giles does make that move, but will Bompton be able to come back, or will Combat try and look for a move on his teammate?
All similar battery levels. So yeah, this DRS, we'll see how much it can do. 7/10 is a long way though for it to catch up. I'm not sure if Bompton's going to be able to get there.
No, and Bompton will be covered with DRS from his teammates, so Giles, I think, has sort of settled for P7. We'll have a quick look at penalties. DeBeast 3, Entei has 6, Giles 3, Bompton 6, Combat has 3 as well as Deputy, Banana has 6, Mets 9, Goodwill 6, and my name is Jeff at the back with 3. But we'll switch as Bompton actually gets another 3-second penalty, which may hurt
him a lot, yeah.
So, but we'll ride on with our leader now. He's just coming up to lap Jeff. Hopefully he doesn't get in his way too much. But this has been a brilliant start by the Red Bull driver. As he comes around the bus stop chicane, activate DRS to come across the line and wins the Spa GP from, I believe, third or fourth on the grid, as
Jedley lets Mercedes-Benz go there. I'm not sure what that was for. We might be able to find that out after the race, but yeah, a bit of team orders there from the AlphaTauri boys right at the end of the race.
But nonetheless, a really, really excellent drive by both AlphaTauri guys. 19 lap on those hards. They would have been fairly worn at that point, but to bring home a double podium, really nice job for the guys. Grimmy brings home P4, DeBeast P5 after a really nice stint on the hards at the start. Managed to hold off Grimmy and the like, just couldn't quite capitalise on those mediums at the end, but still P5, really nice result. And Entei, after pretty much spinning on the first corner of the first lap, does manage to get into 6th. However, probably incident between him and Banana, so we'll see what happens there with the stewards, but still a nice recovery job by him. Giles, pole position, really unlucky to sort of drop back with a couple of spins and just nice recovery, but yeah, what could have been for him. Combat, Stobby, and Snickers Bud will round out the top 10. Bobton, Banana, obviously unlucky with that incident. Deputy, Metz, and Clarence will get the final points position. Goodwill just comes across the line, and my name is Jeff is the last one that we're waiting on. As we have a look at fastest lap, he will take the fastest lap, so he'll get 1 point. But other than that, really good first race of the season for Open Tier 1.
Yeah, a lot of interesting points there as well to take out of it. Yeah, both those Ferraris and AlphaTauris definitely seem to have a pretty good lineup there. Performing pretty similar to each other's pace, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see who the game gives drive of the day. Jedley, which, to be honest, I probably won't have to disagree with that. Really nice drive.
Up 14 places, I think it was at the end there. From finishing up 3rd, so great drive from him.
But we look at the man that will take the early championship lead, Prezzo. So really nice drive from him. Sort of avoided a little bit of the carnage, had a good battle with both of these AlphaTauri guys. Kept it clean and no penalties, and got the trophy and the 30 points to start his season.
All Red Bull podium.
Yeah, exactly. So will we see something similar tonight in the real life F1? Will Perez sort of be able to get past Sainz from the start, or with Verstappen's very quick pace, can he come back through the grid and possibly take a win there? We'll be interested to find out. But here are our results for the Belgian GP. Prezzo is your winner. Mercedes Fan and Jedley on the podium. Brilliant 2-3 for AlphaTauri. Grimmy, DeVeast, Entei, Giles, Combat, Stobby, and Snickers Bud is your top 10. So, while we've got the results on there, I will invite the top 3 to the party to
For a
do
quick chat.
for a quick chat.
Yeah, I think yeah, someone who went under the radar a little bit there as well was Para Combat. I'm looking at the results here. He's gone from 19th to 8th in that race as well. So great drive from himself as well. And yeah, even Grimmy, he seemed to be struggling a lot at the start of that race, but still managed to come home in P4. So not a bad recovery there for Grimmy.
Yeah, exactly. I've got just adding Prezzo, Mercedes Fan, and just trying to find Jedley on here. I don't know if you might be able to find him and invite him to the party as well. We'll just wait to find it. But yeah, really enjoyable race by the guys there. So if this is the sort of racing that we'll see, nice close racing, it'll be should be a very exciting season in Open Tier 1.
So we got Prezzo at the moment. Still waiting on Jedley and Mercedes Fan. Oh, there we go, Mercedes Fan.
So
And hopefully we can get Jedley in here too, and then we'll start off with him, I guess.
yeah. Or if you can try and get Jedley in here, I'll interview the top
Yep.
2 at the moment. We'll start with Mercedes Fan. Brilliant job by you today. Pitted under that
Hey,
first safety car for hards and then sort of went long, and pace was very good. Obviously had that battle with your teammate and Prezzo at the end, but did a really nice job to get a 2-3 for AlphaTauri. So how was your race from your point of view?
yeah, well, obviously, first race in this league ever, so I think getting a P2 is quite a good success. So, yeah, it was good. I think it was quite risky, pitting onto hards that early. But I thought, it's a safety car, it's a free pit stop. I thought, let's just try it. I've got nothing to lose. But, we'll see what happens, and we've got a podium, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, how did your tyres end up at the end of that stint?
It was 74% in the end,
Wow.
so I
Yeah,
was
okay.
really, really close to puncture territory. So, but I nursed it home in the end. I know Prezzo was coming right behind me, and I'm like, I want to fight it, but at the same time, it was just inevitable that he was going to catch me. So, yeah, no, it was good in the end.
Yeah, and one more thing I'll ask you both on this actually. Yeah, first thing for you, Mercedes, is after sorry, Jedley did overtake you. You seemed to drop off quite a bit then. Was that just managing your tyres? And yeah, secondly, with the yeah, crossing the finish line there. Yeah, what was that about?
I actually didn't. I'm not actually in comms with Jedway. Actually, he just let me pass. I wasn't expecting it, to be completely
Okay,
honest. So
right.
I
So
think
it's
that's
probably a
quite.
better question for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, P2 or P3, I don't mind. But I was quite surprised that you let me through. But I thought he deserved the P2. But it's all right.
I'll let you through. I'm just a reserve driver, so I'll do right by my teammate who I'm, whoever I'm reserving for. So
Okay.
I'll just try and get you the maximum points.
Oh
Fair
yeah,
enough. Thank you,
that
mate.
was a
But
great
I
strategy call.
I overtook you just for the enjoyment of racing, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
Well, that goes on to you, Jedley. P3 podium. So really nice job from you. Followed just the same strategy as your teammate. How was the race from your point of view?
My race was pretty smooth. I had bit of an early shunt. I got hit from behind, and then I spun that Mercedes guy in front of me. I think it was a Mercedes. Yeah, so that wasn't too good. But after that, yeah, it was pretty non-eventful really. Just pit at the safety car and get them to the end.
Very nice, and obviously letting the teammate go, being a reserve, but again, 2-3 for AlphaTauri. Yeah, definitely massive points early on in this championship, so well done to both of you.
Yeah,
And
cheers.
we'll mention our race winner now, Prezzo, sort of battling with Giles sort of in the middle there, and then once he had his spin, you sort of looked a little bit in control until that battle with the AlphaTauris.
Yeah, it's a great way to start the season for you. What did you think of Jay's pace as well? Was that surprising, or yeah, what do you think of that? Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Do you think you can match it next week? Yeah, have to wait and see, eh? Yeah. No. Yeah, no, that's the that's the way. 10 minutes before the race, but no practice and see how we go, eh?
Hey, it definitely worked for you tonight. So again, well done for winning the opening round. So congratulations, and we'll see you next week. Well, 40, I think that will do us for tonight. As I said before, very exciting first race, and yeah, that season and the battling that we see tonight. We do have the Dutch GP, which can be a little bit technical, and I know can be tricky as well for some of these drivers. So yeah, definitely be interesting to see.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. As you said, pretty technical circuit. Qualifying's going to be interesting around there, without a doubt. Hopefully we get a full qualifying session instead of what we had tonight. And yeah, we can see the drivers really push the limits.
Yes, yeah, very looking forward to it very much. Thank you everyone for watching us tonight in the chat as well. And we'll see you in 7 days for the Netherlands GP. So from Fraudy and myself, good night.